Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe coming to you from, well, it's a little foggy out here. You can barely see New York City and the beautiful skyline there that offers us right now. I can't see much of it because it's quite foggy today, but New York City is not the focus of this morning's session. Erica Microeconomics is, my friends, and she's come in real hot this morning. She's got the diffuser going, she's got the hat going, and I would like you all to please help me welcome and give a warm, legendary welcome to the one, the only. Erica, what's going on?
Hello, hello, everybody. Good
You got
morning.
the diffuser going. I mean, tell me what we're smelling over there.
It's actually no scent today. No scent. I've been doing the sauna a bunch at night, so I can go to bed and sleep really great. And so in the mornings, I get up, turn on the cold mist steamer, set you right.
Okay, okay. Probably helps out with the skin too, a little moisture right to the pores.
For sure, for sure. I'm in Austin, Texas, and Texas, we're in fake spring right now, and it's like 82 degrees. So I just tell people, I'm like, we're in fake spring right now. So welcome to Texas.
Okay, is that where you're from?
No, military kid was born in the Carolinas, lived in Alaska, lived in Germany as a baby, lived in Maryland. So
Mm.
we've had the travels.
I feel like I'm on a radio show with you this morning. I mean, you really got it going on over there, girl.
I'll just try to stay upbeat.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're all that in a bag of chips. But tell me, what I feel like you've been in the game for longer than before you got came into contact with Legendary Marketer.
Mhm.
So talk to us a little bit about your journey in digital marketing, and then what eventually kind of led you through our community.
For sure, for sure. So I've been doing YouTube about a good 10 plus years where I was like early to the game and I was like, you guys, you got to do this thing called YouTube. And so I was weird. I was the weird, like, why does she keep telling us about YouTube and talking to people online? And I'm like, I'm telling people about affiliate marketing and digital marketing, and they're just looking at me like, I don't get it. And now, time's kind of caught up where more people understand. But I remember going on a show talking about affiliate marketing, and I literally got like 600 phone calls booked, and
Mm,
it took me like 3 months to finish all the phone calls. And the guy was like, I've never had that happen on my show before. You should really think about, coaching long term. Like you should get a calendar link, you should do professional, like, he just gave me all the coaching tips to do then and there. But I just always tell people, I'll talk to people and I'll say, man, on Facebook, you're posting grills, you're posting food, you're posting trips. You might as well get a link off that, get an affiliate link, something to that nature. And the
mm,
person would always look at me weird, like, well, I don't do social media like that, Eric. And so now I think more people are open to hearing, okay, well, how do you make money online? Okay,
mm,
is it remotely? And so someone came and sent me a link for you guys. And I said, they're like, what do you know about these people? Are these people legit? I said, well, let me go check it out. And I
mm,
just always tell people, when you think you know everything, that's the worst. You got to be open to learn something new and go, oh, wait, I like how they're doing this. I like how they're setting this up. I like how they're teaching, because everybody can't learn the same teaching styles.
mm.
So I hopped in, took the 15-day challenge when it was 15 days, right? And just started sharing it. And the crazy part about this whole journey is I had a great Instagram page that had all this content. I mean, I'm talking about years of content, and it got shut down over a year ago, almost 15 months now. I got a backup one, but it's not the same. And what I did is I just hammered and focused back down into YouTube.
Mm.
And when I started sharing it, I was like, you guys, you can share this on any platform. It doesn't have to be Facebook. It doesn't always have to be Instagram. You can share it right here on YouTube. And people are interested in how to change their lives and have more time with their families. That's a forever goal. People always want to have more time for their kids. They want to have more time for themselves. And that's kind of how it kicked off
Yeah,
my journey with Legendary.
yeah. Well, sounds a lot familiar and similar to so many of the other journeys that people start. And I think we really, when we start this, we think that we are so different because we're starting at zero, right? And
Hmm.
like, well, we all started at zero. So talk
Hmm.
to us a little bit about what your strategy is. You have lost accounts,
Hmm.
you did start at zero. Nobody handed you a silver YouTube channel on a spoon, right?
Right.
You started there from scratch. So what have you learned about creating content and sharing education and knowledge and value with people even before you feel like you're ready?
Consistency is just the best, right? The more you're consistent with a theme or a story, the more people believe it, right? I have family members to this day like, "What do you do?"
I'll get right there, everybody. Hold on a second.
Okay.
It's hat. I mean, we got to get this hat worn out here and broke in on this floor here. You said the more people hear, and I didn't mean to interrupt you there,
You're
but
fine.
that was just too good to let pass by. The more times people hear a story and hear you talk about something, the more they believe it. Okay, is that did I capture that
You got
correctly?
it right.
I'm
Yes,
sorry to
correct.
interrupt.
No, no, you got it. You got it. So I would tell my family, I'm doing YouTube. I'm affiliate marketing. And years later now, we've got families and cousins who are grown up and they've watched me do online stuff. They're like, "What do you do online?" And I keep saying, I do affiliate marketing. I promote products and services. I take consulting calls, right? And you just would see their eyes light up because they're finally understanding like this is real money. My cousin's bought a house, she's bought cars, she travels, she's taking her families on vacations. I'm real big on taking my mom. Every year we go to Alaska. So this year coming up, we're going to Alaska and we're going fishing. And I've already talked to the company. I'm like, hey, I'm going to tag you on YouTube. I'm going to do a whole YouTube video on it, right? And my mom's like, is that going to make us money? And I was like, no, it gives us a little bit of a discount. It doesn't make us money, but it gives us a discount. And so you're trying to convey like, I just tell them it's like playing Monopoly. I take the digital money and I turn it into real money, right? I take it and I put it into buying a house or buying a rental. And so now it's funny because now they're, my older aunts and cousins will be like, hey, this lady wants to sell a house. Do you want me to send that to you? And I'm like, that's not exactly what I mean, but thank you. I'll see if I can refer her to somebody. So I've just basically created myself a giant referral network at this point.
So, I mean, your YouTube channel, and I want to talk a little bit about
Mhm.
YouTube because it's sort of where you're currently creating content, and it's even after losing your Instagram page, which let's pause there. Do you know kind of why you lost your Instagram page, and can you give some context for people who are definitely thinking and asking, well, why did she lose her Instagram page? Like what are some of the things that we should look out for? Why do you think you lost it? Like what did you
Mhm.
learn from that?
So I shared a lot of content that was marked controversial. So we had an election year, so I'm sharing content, and so they gave me a couple flags back to back on one day, and it was saying, "Hey, this is fact check, this is incorrect, or this is material may not be accurate." And so I got flagged so many times. I had friends saying, "I tried to send you something, and it says that this person, shares misinformation." I'm like, "Oh no, they're flagging me." So I was just like, I tried to relax on some of the stuff I was sharing, but it was just people would send me stuff. They tag me and stuff. And so I think it was the heat of the election year kind of thing.
Mm,
Uh, and so I think I was sharing too many political, but I didn't want my page to always be like, let's make money, let's make money, let's make money. I wanted it to be a combination of this is how I live. I take my nephews on vacations. I educate them on business. I always gave a range and a flow to my page. And so I tell people when you first start out, I mean, and I've been on that page for years, but when you first start out, I would say niche down, right? 2 to 1, right? Twice about money, once about your life. And
mm.
and eventually you'll kind of cross over to where you're more sharing who you are as a person. And people are following you for your personality. Because I had hundreds of people go, Eric, are you okay? I'm looking for you online. And I'm like, I'm absolutely fine. Or people are like, are you taking a sabbatical? Because they know I take them in the summer. I go to Banff, Canada, or go to Alaska with my mom. So they know I take them in the summer. Um, but it's interesting how many people reached out and got on my email list because of it. Right?
Mm.
People went looking for me. They went messaging me. It was interesting. You see who's really following the content.
And it's all the more reason to have multiple streams of traffic, which
Yes.
in today's day and age, especially if you are at all focused on entrepreneurship and focused on building streams of income and focused on building wealth, and like you said, we all want more money, more freedom. So many people, I think, jump to multiple streams of income before they realize that there's a step before that, and there's actually a step that can be even more powerful than that, which is multiple streams of traffic.
Right.
And that keeps cash flow coming. That's a backup plan. That's not only a multiplication plan, multiplication. The mouth isn't quite warmed up this morning yet. But it not only gives you leverage, but it also gives you a hedge against potential losses if you lose an account. So
Yeah.
here we are, YouTube, right? You've
Hmm.
had YouTube brewing in the background, and you were able to continue to produce content on that channel while then going back and continuing to plant seeds on some of these other platforms and get them going again.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the YouTube game. It's been around for a long time. I remember watching Gary Vee back in the day, creating wine videos.
Yep.
This, you know, 15 years ago, something like that. I mean, YouTube has always been sort of an elusive marketing platform for a lot of creators because it's not quite like the rest of the
Yeah.
platforms. There's some differences. What are those differences to you?
So I'm a person that, my grandma used to call me long-winded sometimes. And I would be trying to explain a point. And I'm like, Grandma, I can't make it a 45-second point. I gotta tell you the 2-minute story and
Amen.
then put the point at the end, right? And so YouTube was a perfect medium for me because I would share motivational content or books I was reading, or man, I got so much out of this book because it showed me this, or I read this book again 5 years later and it did this. YouTube is one of those places where I tell you people go for your personality, right? People think they go for the flashy hot topics and stuff. People just sometimes, like, some people like to hear the news read back to them, right? Or some people like certain type of views. So I've always made a point on my channel is the reason I say Erica macroeconomics is I would say you're hearing all this doom and gloom. Let me tell you the real story. Let me tell you the numbers that I'm seeing. Let me tell you how many people are actually becoming millionaires. Let me tell you how many people are actually starting businesses. Let me tell you how I went to this conference and multiple people at this conference had start with a credit card and an ideal, right? And so that's what I would start telling people, and I would have data to back it up. And so it became like a entertainment slash education, right? So a person says, "Well, Erica, I'm doing all right. Why would I need to worry about making money online or doing that stuff?" And you go, "Hey, the economy now, the price of eggs. Every time you go online, I tell people the summer happens. How I know people who are parents in the summer, I start seeing Facebook posts of they're eating me out of house and home. Gosh, these kids are expensive. I miss summer camp. I start seeing these posts and I go, well, here's some ways you could make some money remotely. Here's some ways you could do this. And it's because I've been saying it so many years, right? And I'll say, hey, check the links below. No rush, no worry, but yeah, check this link out. Check out this 5-day challenge. See if it's for you. See if that works. Maybe you don't like what I'm teaching. Go check out this. And eventually, people are like, man, I better go check that out.
Yeah.
Right? Like this girl is traveling. She's overseas. I actually 2 years ago I took two sets of adults, maybe like 20 the first time, 25 the first time, and 15 the second time to Panama City. And then the second time, Panama City and Boquete, so we could look at real estate. And people are like, well, how are you buying real estate? And I'd be like, digital marketing, digital products. Like you keep kind of pointing them back to like, it's a real thing with real money. And I think when they see the completed circle, it's not just for me to buy cars and buy stuff, but it actually buys a real tangible thing that they can eat, sleep, or live in.
Yeah.
Now it's real. Oh wow, like, oh, you bought a property with that? Tell me more.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
I've had the same experience. I mean, people, they can even see a screenshot of your bank account and it's like, man, it's probably photoshopped. But when
Mhm,
they see you buy a house, when they see you buy a car or a truck, like I did for my dad, I put that right in a sales video,
mhm,
filmed actually gifting him and surprising him with a gray pickup truck, uh,
mhm,
and got it on just a little iPhone camera. Just as a matter of fact, my son was the one who filmed it,
right,
uh, and my oldest, and I put that right in a sales video. And I mean, I could have said, hey, I made this amount of money, or but seeing me doing something,
mhm,
and that's a big clue for a lot of you. How might you leverage something like that? Maybe you're not at a place to where you can buy a parent a car. I'll never forget a story of these twins, came from an Asian family, so taking care of their parents was kind of built into them and something that they really wanted to do. And is almost, I think, a part of their culture, right? But they just couldn't
mhm,
do it. They weren't at a place to where they could do
right,
it. started getting into digital marketing, started making some money, and took them out to dinner and paid and had the receipt and had some photos.
Mhm.
Suddenly, now that story of them being able to take their parents out for dinner became a massive marketing story for them
Mhm.
to share that people could actually understand, quite frankly, was achievable,
Mhm.
relatable, something that people could identify with. And they shared that. And again, here I am 3, 4 years later, actually sharing that story here with you guys because
Yeah.
that story stuck with me. So this makes me really want to kind of jump through the computer screen at everybody and say, get a story, like start doing things for people, right? And like not because it's not about going and giving a homeless person $100
Mhm.
and having a camera in the person's face. Like that's not, I understand the ick around that. Like
Yeah.
some of you guys may be thinking that as well. That's not what we're suggesting. What we're suggesting is that begin to think of ways that you can showcase your success by helping others and capture a photo. If you do something nice for
Mhm.
somebody, a lot of times they're more than happy to capture that memory, right? It's all in the way in which you do it, right? There's never been
Mhm.
somebody who I've taken out for dinner, who I've bought a car for, who I've surprised with something that I said, "Hey, let's get a photo." Or nowadays, just having your camera up, recording things, or having somebody there with
Right.
you to record things is normal. We're all recording stuff.
Mhm.
Content is king. It is. It is. You said I turn my digital currency into real currency.
Mhm.
It's like capturing these memories and these moments become part of your marketing library
Yep.
that you can tune back into for inspiration purposes to create believers out of people who are skeptical. What comes up for you around this conversation? What else? What other ways have you leveraged some of these moments or these memories or and kind of turn them into content in sort of a non ick way, I guess, for lack of better terms?
I remember I took my nephews and my mom, and I put them in first class so we could go to Florida for Disneyland. And I was like showing not their faces, but the kind of the back of their heads. Like the first time I put them on the first class plane, they order water, and I'm like, "You kids can have anything. It's free, and you're ordering water." And so my mom's like, "I'd also take a water," and I'm like, I paid the seats. You can have anything, peanuts, candies, and you're ordering water. And so I put it in the, I put little comments over, just covered their face and said, my nephews are ordering water on a plane, right? And people just laugh so hard. They're like, kids do whatever they want. I don't do it as like I'm bragging, but I'm like, I paid for them first class, and I was able to let them because they had never flown on a plane and they've got an age gap between them. So one was 2, the other's like 9 years older, so he's probably like 11 or something at that age. And so they were kind of nervous. And so it was a beautiful moment, but I tell people all third-party platforms perform the same at some point. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it. They can kick you off. They can close your Facebook groups. They can do all these things, right? I've got like a 60,000 person Facebook group. It's just over there. I'm working with some friends with it. But I literally what I end up doing is I tell people at any moment Facebook can go, you know what? No, we're done. You're out of here. And they can bring it back. They can take it away. They can bring it back. And so I tell people your goal is ultimately to have people go to some type of email list. It's
Mm,
to have something for them to communicate with. I go, hey, you guys, I took my family to Disneyland. I saved 80% on all these different restaurants and trips and stuff because I had this, um, I signed up for this particular company, right? Got these discounts. And I can't post it here, but here, email me and you can get this, or click this link and you can get this. People are highly interested in living life.
mm,
Money's always in the back of our head, right? We know money takes money to live, eat, sleep, put gas in our car. People want to know, why should I make money like you? Why should I be interested in your product?
mm,
And showing people I'm at the beach, I'm sitting at the water, I'm taking a two-day vacation, right? Is inspiring to people because so many people feel like they're just running around on a hamster wheel. They don't know how they're going to get more money. They're stressed out. They don't want to be mean to their kids and family, but they need to think. And man, seeing you on the beach, even if they're not there, they're like, man, that'll, you know what I mean? I got something to aim for. How
Yeah.
much was your trip? And I'm like, oh, the trip was this. I'm always letting people know it wasn't that expensive. This hotel was this cheap. I do it all the time because I know somewhere somebody's like in their head, like if I save a certain amount of money, I could go there too. And I want people to do that. I want them to have a true number because we have this internet illusion and everything's so expensive. And I'm like, what if I tell you this trip was only $200? You know what I mean? Like it's a real eye catcher. It's easy to get in conversations with people that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, and it's great. It's in the fishing formula, which is sort of an 8-step business plan that I
Mhm.
teach people inside of our. You can actually have quite an education on it just going through our challenge. I do it
Mhm.
right there on day 5 before I make the offer for the blueprints, and then of course I go into it more in depth in the blueprints. But it's the section of chumming the water.
Mhm.
It's like you when you chum the water because there's like no fish where you're at, or you want them to get into a frenzy, you put fish guts, or if you want sharks to come, you put blood in the water. You get
Mhm.
them kind of swirling, you get them interested before you put that chum in the water.
Yeah.
They weren't paying any attention to that particular spot, just like they may not have been paying any attention to you, right?
Mhm.
So it's like chumming the water and then using a some sort of a bait, right, to get them to actually bite the hook. And you're talking about getting on your email list. So there's
Mhm.
something that we offer them in exchange for that email so we can communicate with them. If we do lose an Instagram page, or
Mhm.
just simply because people go to their email to do business, right? Showing
Right.
up when they see us on Facebook or YouTube, and then they also get an email from us, there's a certain authority that we get that's unspoken, that okay, this person's just showing up in my email inbox. They
Right.
like there's just we I don't even know how to explain it. It's just a certain unspoken authority. Um, so how are you getting people more specifically onto your email list? What sort of emails? How do you use your email list differently
Mhm.
than you use, for example, your Facebook group or your YouTube channel?
Right. So what I end up doing is I separate. I still have MailChimp because I've been on MailChimp forever. I don't want to transfer anything. But what I would do is I segregate into segments. So I remember one summer I had gained a bunch of weight, was super puffy, and my hair is big curly. And I was like, hey, you guys, this is during the pandemic. I said I figured out what was wrong because I lost 30 pounds. People were like, what did you do? What are you taking? I'm like, listen, I figured out what was wrong. I don't want to share it here on YouTube. I'm embarrassed. I put it in the ebook. You can check out all the supplements I took. You can check out the tanning, the cryotherapy place I went to. You can check it out all there. I put it in a little ebook. And I had over 600 people download that ebook. And I just thought that was so hilarious to me because people are watching my channel because I'm talking about money and economics, but you never know.
Yeah,
People want to know. They're like,
that's
well,
right.
you're doing something. You lost some weight.
Right.
What you doing over there? And I'm like, I'm drinking more water, I got the cold mist in my face, helping my sinuses. You're just telling people you're sharing life, right? People watch you enough that they learn some of your mannerisms, right?
Mm.
People watch you enough that I had somebody send a gift to the office because I used to always talk about Darth Vader, right? I used to talk about Star Wars all the time. So people start sending me little bobbleheads of Darth Vader. And it was funny, but you got to realize the more people watch you, the more they feel like they know you, the more they root for you.
Yeah.
They're like, man, if Erica's doing that, maybe I should entertain looking it up. Or if Erica brings somebody on her channel, maybe I should entertain what he's talking about. And so
Mm.
we're out here in a currency where I'm spending time with you. And really the trick that's different from Instagram, that is YouTube, all the different sales techniques say you need 7 touches. Someone needs to spend 7 hours with you before they decide to spend money with you. You're going to accomplish that faster on YouTube than you will on Instagram. Hands down. Right? Like you could literally just make a video that's 30 minutes. You could make a 5-minute video, honestly. You don't have to be that long. And you're just doing a recap of your travel, your week. Hey, I made some reels for Legendary Marketer. Hey, I did this. I've learned this way to make money remotely. You guys should check it out. That's what I did in between my travel. And you could have a 5-minute video and someone would just love it because they're like, man, thanks for giving me the recap. Thanks for giving me the heads up. Right.
Yeah, and it's a slow build. I mean, YouTube's also a slow build, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not an overnight thing. Usually, it's a slower build, but it's they most platforms are. I mean, I like to set realistic expectations. Somebody said, how do you create authority and trust before the transformation happens? And
Ooh.
how would you answer that?
So people love going on a journey with you. I don't know if you ever watch channels where people lose a lot of weight. People love the start. They like, oh, I just got on the bus. Oh my God, we get to go on this journey together. And they love it when you're telling them, hey, I'm only a couple months into this, but I really believe in it. Right. The biggest thing I want people to understand about YouTube, what's so different from YouTube than Facebook and Instagram, and why I love it, is people are actually searching for a topic. So if you or I were to say how I changed my life in the past 7 weeks via blank, right? Or how I help working professionals do blank. People are typing in the search bar this particular question. And there's websites to help you answer, get questions and what's trending topics and all that stuff. But that's the difference in YouTube. Somebody's looking for the answer. They're Googling the answer. And so if you let them know, hey, I'm on this journey and you guys, I'm gonna give you updates every 90 days of how well it's going. It's a good way to reel people in, right? It's same with weight loss videos or cooking videos or, hey, my kid's, becoming a gymnast or something, right? You're saying, I'm not there yet, but hey, keep checking in the channel. Come check the journey. Come see what we're doing next month.
Yeah, and if you can collect their information while they're there, right, with some sort of a call to action or some sort of a, click the link down in my description if you want this free thing, even if they didn't plan on coming back, a lot of times you can capture their email, and even if they don't continue to watch your YouTube channel, you've got their email and you can send them emails, right? And
Yep.
that's one of the big things that I think people don't really realize about building an email list is that, and nowadays there's so many marketers that are, have gotten kind of away from this, but the power of the email list. I mean, I was just hanging out with a peer, Mark Harbert,
Okay.
who co-created our digital courses business blueprint. And I mean, we were talking about his email list. He's been in the game for longer than I have, maybe by a year or two, 17, 18 years. And his email list is about 9,500 people. Okay.
Yeah.
Now that's a small list, but
It's a powerful list.
that's because he has continued to hone that list and continued to get people off the list and clean the list and get people to unsubscribe or taking them off if they haven't opened email. So he's got 95 people that he know, or 9,500 people that he knows when he sends an email, he's going to have, at least 100 people who are going to take him up on pretty much anything that he offers. Right. And that's and he's done a lot of YouTube as well, blogging. For me, sharing my screen and kind of taking a look. I just brought up my YouTube channel while you were talking, and you can always go to videos oldest and look at the oldest videos, right? And my oldest video is 12 years old. I've been in the game for about 15, 16 years, but you can sort of see the journey that people have been able to go on with me back when the boy had a baby face, if you know what I mean. Gray hair on that mug. But people also can see, because we repost at this point over the past 4 or 5 years. This show has been going for I feel like it's coming up on 5 years, anyways, I did the same thing on my Facebook page just yesterday. There was a memory that popped up from 8 years ago. 8 years ago yesterday, we were launching this company in Tampa, Florida at an event. And we had a mastermind and we launched the company. And look at what I said: put people over profits and watch your profits soar. March 16th, 2017. Okay. And I said 8 years ago, all I did was share the memory, right? You're talking about taking people on the journey. Okay. 8 years ago, I launched Legendary Marketer at our first event in Tampa, Florida, and not much has changed. Just multiple 5,000 awards, 9 figures in sales, and thousands of lives changed by learning the business and marketing skills to power a personal brand and package your expertise and knowledge into a coaching program or course. It's called Sticking with Your Mission No Matter What. Here's to the next 8 years, right? And that just is so aligned with what you're talking about here of taking people on the journey. And we're so damn afraid or so embarrassed to start at zero and take people on that journey. How did you get over that fear? Or how do you get over that worry of what people are going to think if I'm not at this level, or there's other people who are more successful? Why would they want to watch me?
Right. So when I first came to Texas, like the whole story of me coming to Texas in 2012 is I was supposed to get married, canceled the wedding 3 weeks before the wedding.
Wow.
Had to sell the dress. I was over my family's house, you know, with my family crying, and I had a quarter. I was sitting outside. I was getting ready to go to the store, and I had a quarter, and I flipped the quarter, and I said, I'm going to go to Austin, Texas, or Nashville, Tennessee. And I flipped the quarter, and of course, it's Austin, Texas. I call a friend. I literally get a sales job offer. I pack it up and I go. I pack it up and I go. And so I was making videos. This is how crazy it was. I had got the apartment management job, but I was assistant man. Couldn't get the full manager job. I got the assistant manager job. So billings managers gets paid way less, but you know, you're there. And I had a coffee shop right after college and it closed it. So I had this new start. Nobody knew me here. Nobody knew me in Austin. I could start fresh. I could do whatever. I could work whatever. And so what I did is I worked there and I worked at pizza delivery at night. And so I would try to encourage myself, motivate myself, motivation books. I was all into it's going to be okay. We're going to heal from this. You know, it's all right. We're going to get married again in the future. This doesn't matter. And so I would read these books and then I would do a video for 3 or 4 minutes. And I would go, hey, you guys, I got really motivated by this and encouraged. And this is what I got, the 3 points I got from this book. And so people remember my channel in the beginning as a motivational thing. But I was really motivating myself. I was really encouraging myself so that when I got up every day, like there's a thing of when you put the words out into the air, it's realer, right? And so people were watching the channel and they were like, were you going through something? And I was like, I was. But that changed my life because I started investing in stocks. I started going to conferences. I got offers. And I was like, once you own a business and then you go back to work for people, it sucks. It just does. And so what happened is I'm at this apartment complex and I'm telling them, hey, you guys, let's hire a painter. It's going to save the company so much money. And it was like they heard my ideal and just threw it away. So the guy that we had hired to basically outsource all this painting ended up making $350,000 off the apartment complex because over 150 units moved out. And the owners are like, we have to redo the whole place. We got to paint outside and inside. And so this whole time I was like, well, you could have saved money if you just paid me, I told you get one hire, one painter and bring them on property. Right. And at that moment I had made a decision like, okay, we're leaving. We're going to start something, but we're leaving today and never look back. And the YouTube had started taking off eventually 2 years, maybe 3 years later after that. But me and my friend had started a painting company because he had just got fired and he knew how to paint. He knew how to do fences. And we ended up making, I think, $275,000 our first year. And then the next year we made like $400,000 in Austin. Because Austin was like, 2013, 2014, 2015. It was growing already. And so we ended up splitting because I was like, hey, I just made $15,000 this month on my YouTube between calls and other stuff and affiliate marketing. Like, I think I'm just sit at home and do this, dude. I think you can have the company, right? Like, I don't want to deal with customers complaining we didn't paint something right. We got to come back and fix it. Their fence doesn't look perfect. I didn't want to deal with that anymore. And it just unfolded beautifully. Like I don't regret a day in Austin, Texas. I've learned so much. I've two-stepping, country music, you name it, all of it.
That was like what you just described there was so perfectly said. I mean, the way in which we think that at the beginning we're creating content for everybody else, but really we're creating content for ourselves to motivate ourselves. There's
Mhm.
going to be 8 or 9 or 9.5 out of every 10 marketing campaigns that you launch that are going to fail. So
Mhm.
how do you feel about yourself, and what did you learn from those 9.5 marketing campaigns that failed? Right?
Yeah.
What can you take away from that? What is the silver lining in every step of the journey, right? What is the frame in which I'm choosing to look at this situation through? Is it that I'm wasting my time?
Yeah.
Is it I'm not good enough? Or is it that I'm getting better at telling my story? Is it that, ooh, the comments are starting to come, right? The
Yeah.
followers are starting to come. Like people are starting to listen. Like people are waking up.
Mhm.
I'm feeling more inspired. There's always a choice of how we're going to put our picture into a frame. Are we going to put it into a shit colored, falling apart, barely holding on
Mhm.
frame? Or are we going to put it in a gold adorned, just beautiful, frame that it's like, oh, I can't even afford this frame, but I'm going to buy it anyways.
Right.
Right? And I think part of this journey for me has also been not just looking to inspire you with my story,
Mhm.
but actually inspiring me with my story,
Yeah.
and actually being inspired by my journey. And sometimes you can't become inspired unless you hear it.
Yeah.
Memories are not our only memories if you
Mhm.
remember them,
Mhm.
right? If you can look at a picture, you can tell a story, right?
Yep.
Otherwise they're just mush and slush that just gets kind of lost in the brain space of our heads.
Yeah.
And so part of this process, which you just so eloquently and powerfully described, is is sharing the mess as the mess, taking the mess and turn it into a message, even as you feel down and feel completely unqualified and feel like nobody, like you don't even deserve a listen, and
Mhm.
telling it right there and right then anyways, until you get to a point to where you look back and say, damn, I've done 1,000 of these interviews.
Yeah.
Or damn, this company's been in business for 8 years, or damn, whatever the thing is. Which, by the
Mhm.
way, I think that you need to start a daily show. Like you are so like entertaining, and you have like this way of, you've really trained your your confidence and your ability to be able to tell stories. And like I think that people would love to hear from you, like on a daily basis, like live streaming, right? Maybe on your YouTube channel, or just
For
kind of
sure.
creating a format that people could like. I mean, Kim Ballum, a total legend, our top affiliate, she says,
Mhm.
you're a natural. So it's like just a little bit of feedback for you. What are your plans in 2025? How do you plan to take things to the next level?
The big thing in 2025 is we're just tightening up on our marketing. Sometimes we want to. I tell people, if you can't tell somebody what you do in a sentence, you have to work on what you're doing, right? You have to clarify it, right? If I come to your office, what do you do here? Okay, well, I do this. I just tell people I help working professionals either create digital products or take their money and invest in real estate. And that's as simple as that. I keep it really simple, and I go, every day you're sharing information, news, and stuff you're already doing. What's the difference in getting an affiliate link? What's the difference in having a little process to it? Let me show you 3 steps that you can do this. And so we're just tightening up our marketing, how we talk to people this year. We're doing a really cool summer where I'm going to do a little bit of Europe, a little bit of Canada, a little bit of fishing with my mom, but I really focus hard on how do we keep adjusting and growing for ourselves, right? When I tell people, hey, I've done YouTube for 10 years, what's the next kind of thing I could do that improves it, right? And it'll be more cinematic, right? So every year for the past 5 years, I did a boat party in Austin, Texas. Past 2 years, I said, nope, no boat party. We're gonna relax. We're gonna take off the time. But we would have over 50, 60 people show up in town in the middle of July in Austin, Texas. If y'all know how hot it is in Texas in July, I'm talking about sweating through our sombreros. Okay. And people would come out and they would just be so encouraged and so inspired. I just want I want to switch it up this year. I don't know how, but we're going to do something a little bit different. But it'll be a nice shindig. But
Yeah.
I always find ways to every year kind of up the ante. I just am not ready to tell that part of the story yet. So as I'm crafting it myself, like I usually take a 2-week break off and craft it, what I'm going to do for the year. But this year, unfortunately, I had the flu for the first time ever. It was down for a whole week. And then my grandpa died the week after the flu. So it's been a tough, and he was 93 years old. He was a war hero. He did all the coolest stuff. He drove till he was 92 all around Chicago. And so it was a happy homecoming for him because he didn't suffer. It just was like quick. And
yeah, as you kind of get older, some of these things, and my condolences to you and your family for Grandpa. Yeah, as we get older, right? Some of these things happen. My father was in the hospital, almost lost him. A couple of actually now it's been almost 2 years, but yeah, that totally took me out. Went through a divorce, right? Like things happen and kind of throw us off our game a little bit. But the lesson, the takeaway is that you don't totally check out. Like you keep your hand on the pulse, and you keep, it's a business. So for me, it was like this show in many respects through many seasons over the past 4 years. This show has kind of kept me going. And I even had somebody say, a couple of episodes ago, yeah, like I didn't even know you were going through all that. Like I didn't know you were going through a divorce. I didn't know that. Like I had people attacking us last year, trying to take us out, take us down, publishing fake news and all kinds of crap on us. And it was like, don't let them see you sweat. Don't let them see you sweat. Keep showing up. Keep showing up, and keep your foot on the gas. Maybe you're not going 0 to 60 every day, but you're staying plugged in. And I'm so grateful that we got some time with you today, despite what's been going on with you. And so, what would you leave people with? What advice would you give our mostly kind of beginner audience of people who are kind of looking to get their business off the ground? Many of them have been creating content. They're in that early valley of despair where not much is happening. They're not seeing a whole lot of fruit. And others are looking to kind of get to from maybe their first $1,000 day or first $1,000 month to their first $10,000 or $20,000 month. Like what would you say to some of these people based on your experience?
Two things. If you don't learn nothing else, you don't remember anything else I said today, just these two things. Get a sheet of paper, write down seasons. Now you're going to say seasons, Erica. I tell people this is the season. This is, after being in business all these years, this is what I've learned for 10 years in a row. January to March, new year, new me. People are willing to listen. They're open, their ears open. They're shaking off the rest of the winter. They're like, I got to do some new stuff, right? April, May, June, I'm getting shaky. I didn't get to do the first quarter like I wanted, but I'm willing to listen. Okay. Now here's the kicker. Prepare yourself. July, August, they're checked out. Now, not all of them, but a majority of them are like the kids. What am I doing with the kids? Where am I taking the kids? Where am I feeding the kids? What are we doing for summer break? I'm exhausted. And I tell you, like clockwork, August 25th, when the kids go back to school, from August 25th to basically December at the end of the year, your business pops back alive because they realize, oh my God, Christmas is coming up. Thanksgiving is coming up. Halloween's coming up. I got to get serious. Let me get serious for the fall. The kids are back. They're back on schedule. I'm going to get back on schedule. You know what? I want to start that thing. Let me start it. And it's any of those seasons are perfect for you to start in your business. Any of those seasons, no matter what you want to talk about. If you want to talk about in the new year, new me, you can catch them there. You want to talk about, hey, first quarter we messed up. No problem. Let's keep it going. The summertime, hey, I'm at the beach. Are you? Me too, girl. I'm going to relax. I'll see y'all next week Or if you're interested, go check out the 5-day challenge while you're on your vacation, right? Then you hit them in October. Hey, listen, I know you're ready for pumpkin spice. I know you're about to be checked out. I know you're ready for your uncles to come over eat up all your out of house and home. But let me tell you about the 5-day challenge, right? Let me tell you before you check out, let me show you how to get some discounts from Hobby Lobby from some videos I ran, right? Something to that nature. And just remember, if you don't remember nothing else I said, please rewind and watch that part, because people operate every year. I get emails. Dave, you won't believe, I'll get emails. It'll be okay, the kids are back in school. I'm ready, Erica. Where's the live webinar? I missed it. I'll be like, that webinar is gone. We did it that day. That was in May. Well, I'll pay for the replay. I'll pay for the replay. Where's the replay? And so I've learned that now after all these years in business. So I plan my schedule accordingly. That's why I spend my summers with my family and my nieces and nephews and my mom, because I know I'm going to remember that. They're going to remember that. And you got to remember the seasons. Now, number 2 is, I know you don't think it, but record it. Take pictures. The number one thing I hear from everybody who's ever lost a parent, I lost my father and my grandmother 6 months back to back on my senior year of college. And to this day, we search for pictures. We're like, do you have any pictures? Do you have any video? Is there anything? And we'll have some random cousin or a relative go, hey, I found this random picture. And every time you have those, grab them and take them. Like, take lots of photos. I know in our society, people think we take too many photos, but I mean, take a photo and print it out. Because I know countless friends from high school and college who they lost their parents and they have 3 photos. And so the little videos that we ask people to record of themselves, the 6 second, the 5 seconds of them doing anything or hanging out with their kids, you guys, it's priceless. It's gold. You can always use it. You can always write over it. You can always put something over the screen. You don't have to show your kids' faces or anything like that. But what I would give to have another 3-minute video of my dad, I'd give anything. Right. And so I just tell people, those are 2 things. If you know the seasons and you make sure you take a lot of video, you'll always have content. You can take a break for 6 months. I literally got in the car the day I felt like I was going to get the flu, and I recorded 5 videos in a row, and I let my editor just chop those up, and we put those out while I was sick. I got back in the car, made 5 more videos, let my editor chop those up while I was doing my grandpa's funeral and closeout and closing out all his suits. And I tell you, nobody knew the difference. They knew I wasn't live, but they were like, thanks, Erica. Thanks for the video. Thanks for just taking the time. So, live your life, enjoy yourself, but just remember the seasons and take lots of video.
Whew, that wasn't gold. That was platinum.
Thank you, Bridget. When I get my plaque, I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to send a picture to you.
Come on.
I got my gold plaque.
Come on. Well, I tell you, you ended that with a bang. This is your 2nd time on the show. So thank you for taking the time to come back and give back.
For sure.
Can't wait to continue to work with you and just, help you, you help us. And that's what this is all about. We make friends. We lock arms. We are the weirdos that we've been looking for. And
sure.
Just so grateful to connect with you and stay connected with you. Thanks for trusting us to help you in your journey. And we'll see you soon. Stay legendary, my friend.
All right. Be good.
All right. Talk soon. All right, my friends. What an episode. What an amazing marketer and individual. I mean, really. I hope she gets a chance and scrolls through these comments. Really so much love and just legendary love. Going back to Erica, you guys drop her some love. Let her know how we appreciate everything that she brought to us today. It's just another person, just like you guys, puts her pants on the same way, has trained that storytelling ability and that comfortability on camera through lots of action and through lots of practice over the years. And, I'm sure that there's a possibility she was born with the gift of gab, but I also know that becoming comfortable on camera and getting out here and doing what she just did right there is from a lot of practice, a lot of videos filmed, a lot of videos recorded, a lot of time in the game. And that's the result. To be able to come on and deliver 46 minutes of fire, of value, of entertainment, of edutainment, and to be able to drop nuggets, to be able to drop inspiration. And each one of you has that in you. You just got to practice, right? You just got to put in the time, to get good, and you'll probably get good at it a lot faster than you think. With that being said, my friends, go check her out over on YouTube. She's at Erica Williams CC, Erica Williams CC, and give her a follow, show her some support, learn from her. And my friends, we will see you guys back here tomorrow for another episode. If you want to get started with a challenge, if you want to get started with a blueprint, you want to come to a mastermind, you can go to legendarymarketer.com/enroll and do that. And of course, as always, we'll be back here tomorrow for another episode. I'm going to go explore New York City now, my friends. I'll take lots of photos and videos. All right. Talk to you soon. Peace.